Hi students, in this session we will discuss about Bott plot. Actually, Bott plot is a frequency response plot of sinusoidal transfer function. And we know that we are getting the sinusoidal transfer function by replacing the s of the g of s by the quantity j omega. So that will give the sinusoidal transfer function. So Bott plot is the frequency response plot of the sinusoidal transfer function. And in Bott plot consists of two graphs. One is plot of magnitude of sinusoidal transfer function versus the log omega. That means on the x-axis we will mark the log omega values, that is the frequency values, and in the y-axis we will mark the magnitude of the sinusoidal transfer function. Actually it represents the gain. Usually it is expressed in decibels. And other part of the Bott plot is that the magnitude, first is the magnitude plot and the second one is the phase plot. That is the other is the plot of phase angle of the sinusoidal transfer function versus the log omega. That is, we will plot log omega on the x direction and we will plot phase angle on the y direction. Phase angle is usually expressed in degrees. And x direction, in the x direction the scale varies in the log scale. The scale is log scale, it is not linear, and it is used for representing the frequency variation. And in the y directions the scale is linear, and we can mark the decibel magnitude, and also we can mark the degrees for the frequency. So log scale is used for frequency and the linear scale is used for magnitude and for phase angle. And this graph is called semi-log paper. This graph is a semi-log paper. Okay, so let us consider an example. Consider the open loop transfer function. See, usually the Bott plot is used for representing the frequency response plot for the open loop transfer function. And consider the open loop transfer function g of s, that is equal to k into 1 plus st1 divided by s into 1 plus st2 into 1 plus st3. And in this is a s domain function, and we will get the sinusoidal transfer function when substituting s is equal to j omega. So we will get g of j omega equal to k into 1 plus j omega t1 divided by j omega into 1 plus j omega t2 into 1 plus j omega t3. So we will get, in that equation we can find the magnitude. You know that magnitude will be obtained by, suppose if we are having different terms, then the magnitude we will obtain by taking the square root of that function. See here, k, magnitude of g of j omega will give square root of k square, that is k itself. So k will comes here, see here, and the next function is a rectangular form, that is it is in the form of a plus ib. So when we are taking the magnitude, it will be equal to square root of a square plus b square. So we will get a square root of 1 square plus 1 square minus omega square t1 square. Sorry, 1 square plus omega square t1 square. Here the magnitude, if we are having a plus ib, then the magnitude will be square root of a square plus b square. Similarly here the magnitude will be square root of 1 plus omega square t1 square, and at the denominator side the magnitude of j omega is omega itself, because when we are taking square root of omega square, it will be omega. And next term is square root of 1 square plus omega square t2 square into next term is 1 square plus omega square into t3 square. So here the magnitude is obtained by taking the product of each of the magnitude or taking the division of each of the magnitude. See here the product operation is similar when we are taking magnitude, and also the division operation is also same. And the phase angle of the g of j omega, you know that when a term comes in the form of a by b, then the angle will be obtained by taking the subtraction. That is, if there is an angle at the numerator side which is a, if there is an angle at the denominator side which is b, then total angle will be a minus b. Similarly, in the case of g of j omega, when we are taking the phase angle, angle of g of j omega is equal to tan inverse omega t1 minus 90 degree minus tan inverse omega t2 minus tan inverse omega t3. You know that when there is a form a plus ib, then the angle will be tan inverse b by a, that is imaginary term divided by imaginary term divided by real term, that is the tan inverse form. So here in the numerator side imaginary term is omega t, so tan inverse omega t1 divided by real part is 1, that is why divided by 1 is not shown here. And in the case of k, the angle is 0. Since here there is an imaginary term, that is why we are taking tan inverse omega t1. And next is in the denominator side, you should look at here, in the denominator side j omega. So for the imaginary part, there will be an angle of 90 degree when it is comes in the denominator side. So when it is going to numerator side, it will become minus 90. That is why minus 90 comes here. And next term is 1 plus j omega t2, and its angle will be tan inverse omega t2 by 1, that is tan inverse omega t2. Since it comes in the denominator side, when it is going to upside, it will become minus tan inverse omega t2. Similarly, minus tan inverse omega t3. So the total angle will be tan inverse omega t1 minus 90 degree minus tan inverse omega t2 minus tan inverse omega t3. So these are the two important terms. And we have to plot this magnitude function against the angular frequency or log omega on the semi-log graph in order to get the Bott plot. Similarly, we have to plot this angle or phase angle versus the log omega on the semi-log paper in order to get the phase plot of the Bott plot. So these two equations are important, and you should, here there are different terms, and in the numerator side k and this term is multiplied. So we have to draw the magnitude plot of this one, and we have to plot the magnitude plot of this one. And similarly, in the denominator side there are three terms. So we have to represent each term separately on the magnitude curve. So there will be three graphs in the denominator side, and there will be two graphs on the numerator side. So we have to plot these graphs on the semi-log paper independently, and we have to, in order to get the total function, we have to add this. Okay. So that we will see when we are doing a problem, and this is a procedure in drawing the Bott plot. And in the case of when we are considering this equation, there are different factors in the magnitude term and in the phase term. So we will see how we can draw this on a semi-log paper. And here in the case of g of j omega, the basic factors are constant gain k, and next is the integral factor k by j omega or k by j omega whole raised to n. This is, here there is a term k by omega. See, if you are looking at this, there is a term k by j omega. So this represents the integral term. See, k by j omega is obtained from k by s. You know that when there is an integral, and if you are taking the s domain function or Laplace transform, it will become 1 by s, right? That is why it is saying that integral factor. So that is integral factor k by j omega or k by j omega raised to n. That means sometimes there will be j omega square or j omega cube like that. So we are considering it as a single case, that is integral factor comes in the g omega equation like k by j omega or k by j omega raised to n. And the next factor is sometimes there may be derivative factors like k into j omega or k into j omega raised to n. So here there is no derivative factor like k into j omega. Here integral part is coming. And next is the first order factor in the denominator, and which look like this 1 by 1 plus j omega t or 1 by 1 plus j omega t all raised to m. So here you can see in this equation there is a term 1 divided by 1 plus j omega t2. There is a term 1 divided by 1 plus j omega t3. So we have to see how we can draw this first order terms, and we will analyze each of these cases. And sometimes first order factor comes in the form like this, that is 1 plus j omega t all raised to m. So we have to know how to draw these terms in a semi-log graph. Similarly, sometimes first order factors comes in the numerator in the form of 1 plus j omega t or 1 plus j omega t all raised to m. See, in this form here there is a term 1 plus j omega t1, and so we should know how to draw that graph on the semi-log paper. Sometimes quadratic factors comes in the denominator, and its form will be like this, that is 1 by 1 plus 2 epsilon j omega by omega n plus j omega by omega n all square. Or sometimes the quadratic factor comes in the numerator like this. So we have to know how to draw these terms in a semi-log graph. So we will see each case separately, and we will elaborate this case when we are doing the problem. So let us have a look on each of these cases. First one, constant gain k. Let g of s is equal to k. See, you know that there is a gain term in our function. See, this is the gain term. See, this is the gain term. K is the gain term. in the sinusoidal transfer function, then we should know how to draw it. So when this term comes, we know that j of j omega will be k, right? There is no s term, so j of j omega itself k, and k has a magnitude k and angle will be 0. Since it is a constant function, its angle is k, angle is equal to 0 and magnitude is k. So we can draw the magnitude k and angle 0, and we will draw a graph like this, and x-axis comes, x-axis shows the log omega variation and y-axis shows the magnitude variation. Usually magnitude is expressed in decibel. In decibel is quantity is obtained by taking the 20 log quantity. So if we are taking this, we will take the, in order to plot that, we will take the magnitude as, let A be the magnitude, then modulus of g of j omega in dB will be equal to 20 log k. So we have to plot this versus log omega. So since k is a constant, this term will be constant. For different values of omega, the value will be constant, like 20 log k. So we can draw a straight line. See, here is a 0 value, and the decibel value will be drawn a constant line or straight line. Suppose if we are giving different values of k, suppose k is greater than 1, 20 log k is positive. That is why it is drawn on the upper side for k greater than 1. Similarly, when k equal to k is in between 0 and 1, 20 log k is negative. That is why it is drawn here like this, in between, that is below the 0 value. It is drawn like this, and its value is constant throughout the value of omega, since it does not depends upon the value of omega. Similarly, when k equal to 1, 20 log k is 0. That is why we have drawn a curve like this. So when there is a constant term comes, then the curve will be a straight line, right? And its value, that is decibel value, depends upon the value of k. Okay. And next is the integral factor. See, here the integral factor is k by s. See, k by s, and we will obtain the sinusoidal function as k by j omega. So this is the integral factor, and see, in our transfer function there is an integral factor like k by j omega is there. So we should know how to draw that k by j omega. For that, if k by j omega appears, k by j omega, we have to find its magnitude and also its phase angle. K by j omega's magnitude will be square root k square by omega square, that is k by omega itself. And since j omega terms, j comes in the denominator side, its angle will be 90 degree, but it is comes in the denominator side. So when we are taking the phase angle, it will be minus 90 degrees. See, if an angle is in the form of a by b, then total angle will be a minus b. So here the angle of k is 0 and the angle of j omega is 90 degree. So total angle will be, phase angle will be 0 minus 90 degree, that is minus 90 degree comes. So see here, I forgot to say one thing. In the first case, angle is 0 degree. So we can plot the phase angle as a 0 degree in the same semi-logarithmic graph. See, this is a 0 degree graph. For every values of omega, the graph is 0 degree itself. Similarly, in this case, minus 90 degree, for every value of omega, we can say that since the phase angle does not depends upon omega, every value of omega, phase angle will be minus 90 degrees. So phase angle is first plotted at a minus 90 degrees. Suppose 0 degree is this line, then minus 90 degrees comes below this 0 degree. So this is the minus 90 degree. This represents the phase plot. And next, in order to plot the magnitude, that is g of j omega, here magnitude term is k by omega, and we have to plot this k by omega for different values of log omega, and this magnitude now depends upon the omega value. So for different values of omega, we will get different k by omega values. Suppose we are taking omega equal to 0.1 k, then a will be, when we are substituting this, a will be 20 log 1 by 0.1, that is equal to 20 dB. So we can mark that point 20 dB on 0.1 k. See, suppose we are marking 0.1 k here, then 20 dB will be here. Similarly, if we are drawing magnitude plot at omega equal to k, when omega equal to k, then 20 log k by omega will become 20 log 1, that will be 0 degrees. Therefore, for k value, 0 is the value. And next we will plot for 10k, that is equal to 20 log 1 by 10, that is equal to minus 20 dB. So for 10k value, the graph is equal to minus 20 dB. So when we are joining these points, we will get a graph like this, and its slope is negative. See, it is when log omega increases, the magnitude will be decreasing like this. So its slope is, we can say that it is a slope changes from plus 20 to minus 20 degrees. So slope is minus 20 decibel. So we got the magnitude and phase plot for, in the case of integral factor, that is k by s. So if a term like this k by s comes in your question, you should draw the magnitude plot like this, and its slope will be minus 20 dB. When you are drawing the magnitude plot, you should write the slope value on the above the graph, that is minus 20 dB per decibel. See, next we will consider a case. Suppose instead of s here, if there is s square or s raised to 2 or s raised to 4 like this in the denominator side, then the equation will like this, that is equal to g of j omega is equal to k by j omega all raised to n, that is equal to k by omega raised to n, that is angle minus 90 degree n, that is magnitude will be k by omega raised to n, and angle will be minus 90 n. See, j omega terms comes in the denominator side, and since there is n terms, j omega terms comes, so the phase will be minus 90 into n. Therefore, n times 90 degree will appear. So magnitude plot can be obtained from this term, that is k by omega. For different values of omega, but you should know what is the value of k by omega raised to n. So you can write the magnitude will be 20 log k raised to 1 by n divided by omega all raised to n, that is equal to 20 n log k raised to 1 by n divided by omega, and phase angle will be minus 90 degree n. And you can plot the values of different values of omega, what will be the value of a. So you will get a curve like this, similar to the previous one. Its slope will be minus 20 degree, and here the omega scale is different, and when we are putting different values of omega, you will get the curve like this. Similarly, instead of in the previous diagram there is 90 degree, and instead of here there will be minus 90 into n degree will appear as the phase angle. So next we will consider the derivative factor. Derivative factor means k into s comes in the equation, and when s is equal to, we can substitute for s as j omega, that is equal to k into j omega, and its angle will be, since it comes in the numerator side, its angle will be plus 90 degree, that is k omega angle 90 degree is the equation for g of j omega. In this case magnitude is k omega, that is equal to, in decibel value 20 log k omega will be the magnitude, and angle will be 90 degree, that is a constant value, it does not depend upon the omega value. We can plot this magnitude against log omega for different values of omega. Suppose we are putting omega equal to 1 by k, then magnitude will be 0. If we are putting omega equal to 0.1 by k, then the magnitude will be minus 20 dB. Similarly, we can put different values of omega and we will get the graph like this. See, for this value, the graph has got this value, and for this 10 by k graph will have got this value, that is amplitude will got this value. So we can join these points and we will get a curve like this. You can see here that when omega is increasing, this graph goes from this minus 20 dB to plus 20 dB. So the slope will be basically plus 20 dB per decibel. It is increasing. So when a term like ks comes in the question, the magnitude plot will be like this, and its slope will be plus 20 dB. Slope is an important thing, and you should remember this slope, okay? Similarly, suppose powers of s comes in the numerator side, that is derivative factor has a multiplicity of n, then g of s will be k into s raised to n. In that case, we can write the magnitude as 20 log k omega raised to n, and here n can be taken outside, so it will become 20 n log k raised to 1 by n into omega. If you are substituting for different values of omega, you will get a graph like this, and its slope will be 20 into n. That is the difference from the previous case, and phase angle will be 90 into n. Since it comes in the numerator side, there is no negative sign associated with the phase angle, so phase angle will be positive 90 degree, and it will be multiplied by the quantity n or multiplicity n. So we will get a phase curve like this, plus 90 degree n for different values of log omega. Similarly, if f first order factor, that is in the form of 1 by 1 plus st, see in our question, in most cases this first order factor comes, and suppose a first order factor such as 1 by 1 plus st comes in the denominator side, then corresponding modulus g of j omega will be is equal to, that is equal to 20 log 1 by square root 1 plus omega square t square. You know that modulus is obtained by taking square root of each real term and magnitude term, real term and imaginary term. That is why magnitude will be 1 by square root 1 square plus s square t square. Here instead of s we put omega j omega, so omega square t square comes, and angle will be tan inverse omega t divided by 1, that is tan inverse omega t. Since it comes in the denominator side, so angle will be minus tan inverse omega t. So we have to plot this magnitude versus log omega, and also we have to plot this phase versus log omega. So we have to take here the magnitude term contains omega terms, so we have to substitute for omega for different values. So when omega t is very less than 1, then the magnitude is minus 20 log this quantity, that will become 0. See, this is very less, then we can approximate it as a 0. So log term will be log 1, that is why 0 comes. And very high frequency omega t is very greater than 1. So magnitude will be minus 20 log square root 1 plus omega square t square, and it will become minus 20 log omega t. So when we are substituting for omega as 1 by t or 10 by t, we will get different values of this magnitude, that is 0, minus 20 dB. So we can plot the graph like this. See, up to omega equal to 1 by t, the log the magnitude value is 0, that is why this curve, and after that the magnitude will be having this form, that is at 10 by t, the slope will be minus 20 dB. These two are the approximation plot. See, first plot is this one up to 1 by t, and second plot is this one. So these two graphs join at this point, and this meeting point is called corner frequency or break frequency. That is the points at which two asymptotes meet is called corner frequency or break frequency. So here omega c is the corner frequency, that is equal to 1 by t. 1 by t is the corner frequency. Suppose we are having a term 1 by st, then 1 by t is the corner frequency. So if a multiplicative term comes, then similarly we can do the same operation. G of s is equal to 1 by 1 plus st all raised to m. See, so the magnitude will be square root 1 by square root 1 plus omega square t square all raised to m, and angle will be m into tan inverse omega t, and we can write the magnitude separately as minus 20 m log square root 1 plus m omega square t square. Here minus sign comes because actually this term is in the denominator side. When we are taking log, a negative sign will associate with this. Okay, and angle term will be minus m tan inverse omega t. These cases are similar to previous case, but there is an additional term m due to this multiplication factor. Okay, and in the previous case, see here there is a frequency plot. When we are considering the frequency plot, you know that the frequency term is minus tan inverse omega t. For different values of omega, we will get different angle values, and that you can do while doing the problem for substituting different values of omega. Suppose we are putting omega equal to 1 by t, then we will get a tan inverse 1, so it will be minus 45 degree at this point, that is marked here. And when we are putting omega equal to 0, phase angle will be 0, that is marked here. And when we are putting omega t equal to 10 by t, the phase angle will be minus 90 degree, that is why the curve will be looking like this. Similarly, in the next case, when we are taking a multiplication term, then we will get a graph like this. See, here there is a difference. Instead of minus 45 into m degree comes, and minus 90 into m degree comes. So the graph will be looking in the previous graph, but there is an additional term of m, and the slope will be minus 20 m. In the previous case, slope will be equal to only minus 20. Similarly, we can discuss about the first order factor comes in the numerator side. When a first order factor comes in the numerator side like this, the magnitude will be square root 1 plus omega square t square, and angle term will be tan inverse omega t. And we can plot this against log omega, and also we can plot this angle term versus omega. So if you are taking different values of omega, we will get a plot like this. See, this is a plot, and similar to the previous case, the slope will be plus 20 dB, and angle will be this term, the angle curve will look like this, and this is obtained by giving different values of omega c as 1 by t, 10 by t like this. And see, we can see these cases very clearly while doing the problem. And similarly, when 1 plus st all raised to m comes, the angle will be multiplied by m into tan inverse omega t, and phase will be magnitude will be multiplied by 20m log square root 1 plus omega square into t square. That is the only difference. These all are for just to give a knowledge about how to draw bot plot, and we will see the case very clearly while doing the problems. So you should have an idea how we are taking these terms and like that. Okay, this is all about this topic, and thank you.